We're back.
What's going on, guys?
So today's video is going to be pretty long, actually. We're doing how we met and why we got married. I am 24, going on 25.
I just turned 23 in February.
So I'm partially a cradle robber, but it's besides the point. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Let's just get into the video. My side of the story of how we met is we met at work. We both used to work at Walgreens, and I started back working at Walgreens in November of, 2015? Yeah, 2015. And like my first day, I didn't, so I spoke to everyone, per normal, like, hey, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. He claims that he spoke to me, but I don't recall. And from that day on, I could not stand him. I thought he was an ass. I was like, no, like, he's rude, he doesn't speak, so whatever. So I have two tones to my voice. One can be really like, like this. And then the other one when I don't like you, or if I don't know you, or I'm just like, whatever, it's more kind of a little deeper, kind of mannish and very dry. So that's kind of how I was with him.
I didn't notice. When I was at work, I wasn't really talking to anybody. So how she was speaking to me was just how she spoke.
Yeah, because, he knows the difference now, but he didn't know the difference in my voice, so he didn't care. But it was because, one, I didn't really know his personality or who he was. I just thought, well, okay, cool, you don't talk, so all right, whatever, you're a dick. So, how we started communicating was it was actually on his birthday. His mom came into the store, and she's the most talkative, sweetest person I've ever met in my life. And she's like, oh, it's my son's birthday, this and that. I'm like, well, who's your son? And she was like, Roger. I was like, oh, well, yeah, y'all look just alike. And then I think it must have been maybe like that next week, I was just like, you know what? I don't know why he just doesn't talk to me, like what the issue is. So I was ringing him out one day, and it just came out of me, and I was like, what did I say? Oh, I was like, do you just not talk, or do you just hate the world? And then he was like,
What?
No. Like, and I was like, okay, whatever. So then it was either that night or that next day, and he texted me, because like everyone that works here, we have the same number, so if anybody got called off or, we need to change shifts. So he texted me, was like, do you work tomorrow? I'm like, I work tomorrow, like, you have the schedule. I was like, yeah. And then we just kind of kept, like, we actually became friends from there, just like a little, communication here and there. And then he actually had a girlfriend at the time, so, but he was never disrespectful or anything crazy. It was just, hey, how you doing, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But then I realized I started to like him, so I was single at the time, like, dealing with my own, like, issues, like, still, working on myself, but I was single. And I told him, and I was just like, we can't be friends. Like, I like you, and you have a girlfriend, so this has the end. So then, what is it? Was it that night that when I texted you that we had that long ass conversation?
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm thinking, once I told him that, it was just gonna be cool. So we had like a long conversation, basically, like, like he realized that he did like me too. So I was just like, no, like, we can't talk. So I had to work that next day, and he don't come in for no one. Like, if he is just on the schedule to work his shift, he will only work his shift, which is fine, because it's just an awful job to work. So we needed someone in. I think it was that. So they needed someone to come in that night. I worked that morning, and one of the managers, I overheard him saying, he was like, we got Roger to come in. And I'm like, Roger's coming in. Oh, okay. So I put two and two together. I was like, clearly he's coming in to see me, because he never, when I say never, he never covered anyone's shift. Like, and when I found out where he lived, he was always late. I'm surprised he didn't get fired. He literally lives like 3 minutes away from the place.
Legit. If I don't hit a light on my way from my parents' house to work, it legitimately takes 2 to 3 minutes to get to work.
And he was late every day. I don't know how he didn't
every
get fired.
Day.
I don't know. So yeah, so he comes in, and by that time he had not told me that I guess him and his girlfriend had broken up. I think he was trying to fill out which way he was gonna roll. I feel like that's what that was. But I did not know that they had broken up at that time. But I guess they did. But I'll fill you in that later. So he comes in and I see him. And I'm like trying to hide from him. Like, I just told you I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk to you like that. Like, I don't want to talk to you. We can be friends. Like, just keep cool, keep cordial. Like, just no. And he texted me. He was like, "You trying to hide from me?" And I was like, "No, I'm putting stuff away." When I actually was trying to hide from him. So I think I was on.
Already. You
What?
was lying.
And
You was lying nice. The beginning of it, way back then.
shut up. So I went. I think I was on my break.
Should have known I was in for.
We were in the back and we were just talking, and he comes back with a rose. Mind you, those are my favorite flowers. I don't think I told him at that point, but he had brought me a flower, and people at that job talk so much, so I had to like somewhat.
Side note, the flower actually wasn't for her when I bought it. It wasn't. And you know this as well.
Who was it for? You didn't tell me that.
It wasn't for anybody.
Who was the rose for, babe?
What did I just say?
What'd you say?
It wasn't for anybody.
You just
So
bought
what
it.
happened was, back at the time, I was really into shoe collecting and things like that. I had just purchased a pair of shoes that had flowers on them. And I was, at the time, I told you this.
I don't recall.
Obviously.
Mm.
So at the time, I brought the rose. I was at the end of my shift, and the idea was I was going to take it home, take some pictures of it with the shoes I had that had the flowers on it, make them photogenic,
You didn't
and
tell me that.
put it on Instagram. It was a whole big deal about it. When I got into the break room, had the flower in her hand, she asked me about it. I explained it to her.
You.
Be quiet, child. She told me that she had never been given a rose from a...
Was that time?
Yes. Nah. She told me she had never been given a rose by a significant other. I, being the generous and thoughtful person I am, thought that this would have been a fantastic opportunity to give a beautiful girl a beautiful flower. And that's exactly what I did.
I partially don't recall the story of how I got it, but I remember telling him I never got one.
That was when. That's how I found out that they were her favorite flowers.
So long ago. Maybe that's why. My bad, baby.
No, I don't.
Ignore my first part. Anyways, back to the story. So, I got the rose, and look, nah. I got the rose. I was leaving work. I had got off. And I felt kind of bad afterwards, only because he had to work that night. He really only came in to see me, and he got stuck working that night. But I left with her. I kind of had to hide it because there was one girl. She was like sweet but nosy, and had she seen it, it would have been a whole nother situation. So I left with it, went home, and I texted him, I think, again that night, and I was like, look, like, I freaking like you. Like, figure this out. Like, either you, like, because you, like, you know I like you. You have someone I don't, so what is this? Because especially after that flower, I was like, figure this out. What's going on? So I'm thinking I'm not going to talk to him for, like, a week, 2 weeks, whatever. He texted me that night. It was just like, I choose you. And so I was actually out with my best friend. We had went to Applebee's when Roger texted me. And I was like, what is wrong with you? I was like, nothing. So after we get this food, you can just drop me back off at home. Because I wanted to talk to him. And I guess him and his ex at the time, they had already broken up, like a week before? Or
I don't remember the time.
They broke up for a little bit of time before he actually texted me. I think, like I said, he was trying to figure out which way he wanted to go, and clearly it worked for me. Anyways, so kind of from there, like, and we were cool, like, I did tell him, I was like, I know it's gonna take some time, we can just be cool, this and that, but we didn't force anything. It just kind of just naturally we just
accelerated really quick.
We're just like stuck together like glue. Like, we worked together. He was still in with his mom at the time. I had moved in with my aunt. So when we were not at work, we were always together some way, somehow, either just at one another's house or like going out to eat, which is why I got as big as I did, because we just been eating and we was happy. I mean, we still are happy, but like we was just eating, and I just got chunky. So, yeah, we were just together all the time, and he had started calling me his girlfriend before he ever like actually asked me to be his girlfriend. And we were, the day that he asked me, we were sitting in his car. We were doing like, you know, eating and chilling in the car type of thing. And what did we get? We got Sharks, the one by your mom's house where the girls used to go to daycare.
Sure, I don't remember.
That back street, whatever. Anyways, we went there. I was eating these hot ass wings, and it was so spicy in the car. Like they were burning my eyes. And we were sitting in the back, and then I remember like exactly what we were talking about. But basically, I was just like, I think I asked him like,
I asked you when our official.
Oh yeah, and then I was like, well, you never asked me. So the moment I said that, he was like, hold on, don't say nothing. So I was like, okay. So next thing I know, he's turning on my favorite song, which is Sam Smith Latch, and he turned on the acoustic version, which I hadn't heard at that time. And so, like, instantly, I just, like, started tearing up. And I was like, oh, my God. Okay. So then he, like, did it dramatically, but it was the cutest way ever. He was like, he said my full name. And he was like, will you be my girlfriend? I was like, yeah. So, like, I'm crying in the car. And I was like, this is just so cute. Like, no one ever, and he's just cheesing from ear to ear. So then, March 24th is our anniversary. We've been together 3 years now. And yeah, it feels like we've been together longer than that, but like in the best way possible. Like our relationship, it doesn't make any sense how well we get along. Even though, like, of course, like we irritate each other, but we've never. Wait till this camera go off. We still gotta go to the stove.
This is exactly what she's talking about.
We just clicked. That's how we met.
From my perspective, there were a few things that I feel she's remembering incorrectly, and I feel
what?
Like I need to.
Besides the beginning.
Be quiet and let me break this down.
Okay.
So, she was right when she said, I am typically a very stoic and kind of quiet person, especially 3 years ago when I was working at Walgreens. Mm-hmm. So, when I was at work, that's exactly what I was. I was at work. I didn't interact with coworkers too much. I kind of just did my job, went home. That's what they paid me for. They barely did that, so that's all I was doing. When she first started, her first day, like I said, I'm a very kind of stoic person, and with that comes I actually speak in a very kind of mild tone. So if you don't listen for my response, you may very well miss my response, which is what happened. I'm not rude. I always speak to people, but a lot of the times, people who don't understand or know who I am won't know to listen closely for my response, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
I walked past and I said my hello or whatever I said at the time, and she just didn't hear it, which is fair enough. She didn't know, whatever. And when she asked me if what actually started our communication, when she was ringing me out that night, she asked, do you just hate the world, or are you always like this? And since I had absolutely no idea that she hated me at the time, I didn't know what in the world she was referring to.
I didn't hate you, I just didn't like you. I didn't hate you. You didn't do anything like to make me hate you. I just did not like you whatsoever.
Regardless, I had never done anything to
that he knew.
It's kind of the point that I'm getting at.
Mm.
And she just had all this. I mean, it's funny to think about now. Because look at that smile. You see that smile?
Mm.
Now all she do is annoy me all day.
It is the best part of your life.
It is.
Anyways. So, yeah, that is how we met. And yeah, we've been together 3 years now.
We actually just hit 3 years.
And it's been great, you know. And today actually marks 7 months exactly that we've been married. And how we got married, it literally started off as a joke. His mom was working at the school that his sisters were going to at the time. And I don't remember exactly how it came up, but basically we just started talking about marriage. And I was like, oh, you know, I can go to the courthouse right now. Because at the time I had a promise ring.
We were talking about taxes.
Oh, yeah, we were joking.
We had just gotten paid, and if you are a single male or female, with no dependents or anything like that, you get taxed pretty hard, which is what I was complaining about at the time. And jokingly, I said, well, maybe you, her, and I, referring to Alyssa, she gets get married so they can stop taking all of my money. And my mother was like, well, y'all can just go up to the courthouse and get it done real quick. In your next paycheck, they can stop taking your taxes. Cool.
So then when they said that, I was like, yeah, I'm cool with it. I was like, I'll make the big shebang. I was like, I already had a ring that I still can't find. I don't know where it is. But I had a promise ring, and I was like, no, I could just use this, whatever. And then that night, his mom had actually texted me. I don't know if I ever told you this, but she was, like, kind of surprised by my answer because, like, most girls are like, no, like, I want a wedding, I want a new ring, like, I want all this stuff. And I'm not that, I've never been that type of person. Like, of course I would want a ring. Like, I mean, I love the one I got now. But, yeah, whatever, like, I'm cool with it. Like, I just want to marry you. Like, I don't want to be with any, I don't care about all this, so I'll get that stuff later. So, she had texted me that night, because I had her number at that time, clearly, because me and her were talking. And that's kind of how it started. And then, like, I just kind of started thinking about it more, and I'm like, could I marry him? Could I see myself with him? And I thought about it for, like, a while, and every time, like, it was never hesitation of, like, no, like, I don't know. And one thing that really did it for me, besides just, like, how he, like, is with me, is my car at the time, it, like, just died on me, like, on the expressway. Okay. It was a little 2001, 2001 Hyundai Accent. It was a little busted, little black.
The car looks complete. They still make it. It looks completely. It's a nice, cute car now.
Yeah.
Back when they made it in 2000, it was this little
putt. It was a little putt. But I loved her for what she did for me. I put, my leopard print seating, my little dice hanging from the rear view. I made her cute. And, she was loud, but she got me, because I was working in the city at the time. She was really loud, but I named her Black Widow because she was black and she was going to die.
And she was deadly.
Yeah, she was. But I thought she was literally going to kill me. So I'm driving to work, and she just started, and mind you, my radiator had, like, been overheating a couple times. I finally got it replaced, but I think she had just been overheating too many times, and that was just it. So I'm on the expressway, I'm driving, and then smoke just starts coming, and then my wheel starts to lock up. So I had to get off and get on the, get on the side. And so somehow my mom was driving past, and she saw my little black car, and so she comes, and I'm like, why are you here, and where are you going? So she's like, we know where is Roger. So he finally gets to me. He thought, I guess, that I said I got hit by a car. I didn't.
I was at work at the time. I had just gotten to work. And because of where she was off the side of the expressway, it was hard for me to hear what she was saying clearly. So all I heard expressway on the side, my car doesn't work. I guess I put those three together and
got hit.
She got hit. So I took my little putt-putt at the time, and I did like 130 all the way to where she was at. Because where were you at? You were on the way downtown, weren't you?
Uh-huh.
I was coming from...
I was still on 57.
I was about 30 minutes away. I got there. I should have been about 30 minutes away. I got there in about 15,
Yeah,
20.
he got to me really quick. So I was, like, shocked to see him, too. So I'm just, like, in a crying mess. Because I'm like, what am I going to do? Both of us have putt-putts. Like, my car is done. Like, that's just it. So my sweet little angel here, he gave me his car to use, and he was, like, just struggling trying to find a way to work. And I hated every bit of that because I, like, never wanted to, like, be, like, a burden for someone else to try to figure out. But we didn't have another car for, 3 days? And then he got me my, with help of my grandparents too, but a lot of him as well. He was able to get me my dream car that I wanted, which me and her, we have, we're on the odds right now. But he got me a Chevy Cruze, which was the car that I've, like, wanted, like, for the longest time. Because he wanted to get the Hyundai Elantra. Sonata. And it was really nice too, but I was like, it's cute. But then he was like, well, there's an option for a Chevy Cruze. And I was just like, well, then, you know what we have to get. So we ended up getting that, and she's been great. She's having her little issues here and there, but he got me that car. And, like, who just does that? Mind you, it had been, a month after we started dating? It was very early. No, it was summer.
It was
October.
Later. It was later
October.
Yeah.
I got my car in October. My car gave out, I think, clearly in October. But I got that one, I think, in like the summer, and I had it for a couple months, and then she died on me. But yeah, like him getting me a car was just like, we haven't even been together that long, but you got me like a whole car, like a nice car at that. Like you, what? Like, you know, clearly something's going good.
And there was a reasoning and logic behind the fact that I had only been dating her for what? It was
March,
like
October.
6-7 months at the time.
Yeah.
But I think I kind of knew. It doesn't take me long. I know kind of what I like. I think I knew at the time that she was gonna be here for a while, so it worked.
I didn't really know at that time, but I sensed it and I hoped it.
That's what I meant.
But yeah, so, you know, he got me my car, and then just, like, he's helped me a lot with, like, a lot of, you know, like, personal issues with myself and, you know, a lot of things that no one else, of course, you know, my family would always try, but it's always something like, that someone else can just fill in and do for you, and he was that, like, for me. And the way his personality is and how I am, like, you wouldn't think that we would really end up together, because he's, like...
She talks a lot.
I talk for both of us a lot. Like,
Clearly.
as you can see,
If you're watching
I've been
the
talking
video,
this entire time. But
she talks a lot.
All right.
A lot.
But it works for us. So, it works for us.
I do things that are annoying. We annoy each other.
Yeah.
We get under each other's skin, but I think one of the most remarkable things about our relationship is that we don't fight. And we literally do not fight at all. We have our like spats.
Little baby bickers. Like, I had an attitude earlier because I couldn't get any chips this morning.
We'll have our spats that'll last for up to an hour. I'll go to a different room and play a game, and she'll stay and watch whatever she's doing, and
then I always give in. Now I will purposely try to hold out, like, cause I'll literally honestly be over it probably like 15 minutes after it starts, cause he just doesn't make me that mad to hold on to something all day. But I try to be like stubborn, but I always lose, cause I'm like, why don't he ever just come in here and love on me? But he's just that stubborn, and he knows that he is, and he knows that I'm always gonna come in here, so that's just kind of how that works. But we got married in September. Because we were going to, so when we first started talking about it, I wanted to get married on my grandmother's birthday because she passed away. But later on down the line, I was like, you know what, I don't want to take away from her day. Like, you know, it's her birthday, so that's just going to be her day. And then we can just still get married in September, you know, just because, but I didn't realize how busy September was now that we're married, like, just for our family in general. And we probably should have did it a different month, because September is insane with now our wedding, you know, being a part of it. And then we were going to get married, like, you know, different times. Like, we were just, like, back and forth with it. And then I wouldn't say I was, like, hounding him, but I could sense that it was, like, coming. So I was like, you know, like, we get married or no? Like, let me know what's going on.
She made a lot of subtle hints.
So, like, I was just trying to figure out, like, where exactly we were going. Because by this time, we had already been together for, what, a year and a half? No, because we were
going for 2 years.
So, yeah, we had already been together for, you know, a little bit, and I'm just trying to figure out, like, you know, because me personally, granted, I've never been married before. I've never even talked about marriage with anyone. You know, you ever think about it, like, you know, I want to be married, blah, 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 but you never actually sit down and have, like, an actual conversation with someone. So I'm like, what exactly is this? Like, you know, like, I know we're dating, but can it turn into a marriage? Like, you know, am I going to be getting married soon? Because I always wanted to get married by the time I was 25. So, yeah, he bought it in October. Clearly, I had no idea. Like, no idea. Everyone else knew, clearly, you know, except for me. But, like, when I tell you this man was good at hiding every single bit of any type of idea or clue that we were getting married, like, poker face for months, clearly. And then the day that he proposed, once a certain thing happened, and I was like, oh my God, this is happening. And I always told him, I was like, make sure you get my nails done before you propose, because I'm not going to have ugly fingers. But how he did it was he had my sister take me to get my nails done. Of course, I'm not going to think about it. I was like, oh, she's just paying for my nails. Of course I'm going to go.
Which was the plan.
Yeah, because
it worked perfectly.
I mean, me and my sister were best friends, but she'll never pay for my nails. So I was like, yes, of course. So she paid it. She ended up paying for my nails and my eyebrows, and I was like, okay. get my feet done if I can, but it was pushing it, so I couldn't get them done. And it was, of course, a little bit before, because he proposed me on Christmas Day. Christmas Day. And we went to his parents' house.
No, you know what?
Yeah.
It was Christmas Eve because we celebrated it.
Yeah.
Before.
Right. Yeah, it was Christmas Eve. We went to his mother's house, and everyone came over, his family, and then some of my mom actually had to work, and my dad, he lives in another state. So, you know, everyone's giving gifts, this and that. And so how he had been doing it was for the day of, we had went to the Navy Pier Winter Wonderland a couple of days before, because I had wanted to do that. So he had like been giving me like stuff before he actually did it. So the day that it came, he was like, it was my last present. So I'm thinking something like a purse or something. And he's like, you know, it's at my mom's house. I'm like, okay. He's like, you know, we'll get it when we get to my mom's house. I was like, fine, whatever. So, you know, everyone's giving gifts, and I'm like, you know, babe, can I get my gift? And he was like, will you hold on? I'm like, I just want my gift. Like, can I just get my gift? So then, yeah, that's when the video came up, and I was like, oh my God. So I ugly cried for a good little minute. Like, I'm kind of embarrassed about how bad I cried. Because I really didn't think I was going to cry that bad. And, like, I used to think about, like, you know, will I really cry that bad? But I know that I'm a very sensitive person and, like, anything will make me cry. But I was just like, I don't think I'm going to cry that bad. But it was...
There were a fair amount of tears.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. And then we were going to get married the year after. Like, have, you know, a year planned and do it in September. But then I was just like...
We were actually planning on getting married this year, originally.
Yeah, but then I was just like, I don't really feel like stressing that much. Two, I had like started planning out. It was like 100 people before, and I was just like, no. Then I cut it to like 70, and then we actually like cut it to like 40 people. Because for one, where we were gonna have the wedding at, we just were ready to kind of get married sooner, which is why we didn't get married at that place. And he planned a secret wedding, actually. I had no idea, clearly, again. And I'm like, stuff like that, like, I mean, of course there are guys that do it, but I've personally never had someone that put that much time or effort into anything for me personally. So once I actually found out that he was doing it, and the only reason why I found out was because my grandparents couldn't make it. So he had to let me know to see if I still wanted to go through with it or move it. And I was like, well, we certainly are going to go through with it. Like, you planned this? Like, and he got very far. And I was just like, what? And I was like, this is just ridiculous. So then once he let me know, then of course I was putting my 2 cents into it. So since I know about it, you know, I might as well.
She was actually planning it kind of herself. She just didn't know. I had her or her friends, her sister, my mother would ask her questions and get ideas about kind of what she liked, what she wanted, how she felt about certain things, and I would take it and implement it into the plans that I had. She just didn't know that what she was doing.
Yeah, I know. He's a good one. It's cool. But yeah, and then we had our wedding. It's the best day of my life. I was completely stress-free the entire time. Well, no, I'm sorry, take it back. The day of the wedding, I was completely stress-free. During the process, I was a little stressed out from certain people, but I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to take this into the wedding. We're going to be cool. It's going to be great, and that's just going to be it. And I feel like I did really good. I mean, I didn't get stressed till when we were supposed to start, and it didn't start at the time I wanted it to start, and I was livid on the inside, and everyone could see it coming out of my face. So they were trying to calm me down, but other than that, it went pretty much very well. Like, we had a great photographer, the food was good, I looked cute, he looked good. Everyone that was supposed to be there for the most part was there, except for, of course, my grandparents.
A little snack.
It was a whole ass meal, okay? With an appetizer and dessert. But yeah, that's kind of how it all started and where we are now. 3 years together.
7 months.
7 months married.
I'm happy it's here.
With 2 cats. One of them's sleeping on a...
I feel like one of them's in here somewhere.
She is. She's right there. She's asleep.
She's adorable. I gotta show you guys this.
We just moved, by the way, too, so ignore the box.
So, the reason why I decided that I was ready to get married at the age of, I guess I was 22
You were
at the
22.
time, was I like I said earlier, I'm a very kind of reserved.
No, we don't
person.
have any kids. For anyone asking, we have no children besides cats. Yeah.
So, like I was saying, I am kind of a reserved person just by nature. I do kind of tend to stay to myself in the background, quiet, incognito. It's the way I like it. And this one here is quite the opposite. She is a more optimistic.
I'm a little firecracker.
Exactly. And I, if you cannot tell, am not. And traditionally, you would think that the two kind of differences in personality wouldn't mesh. But I think the fact that she does kind of exude so much energy and personality, I think it complements my lack thereof so much so that
it brings out another side to you, though.
Yes.
Like, with me, like, when he's not with me, I can only imagine how, like, I know how he is because it was when I've seen him when we used to work together. If, like, you don't have anything, like, intelligent to say, not saying, you know, he's, like, you know...
I'm not Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, like, he's very smart, which is why I did start liking him, because I've never dated or talked to anyone younger than me because they act so immature. But, like, he's... Not saying that I'm stupid, but my level of intellect is not up like his, but I mean, I am very smart, but his level of intellect was just a lot for me that I was just like, I really like him. Like, still to this day, he uses words that I've never heard of, and he'll laugh because I'm like, what'd you say? Like, and he'll know exactly what I'm talking about, and he'll just say that word over again, and then he'll explain to me what it is, so then I try to use his vocabulary, you know, every once in a while. I mean, I still use it wrong, but I was just like, you know, I really like him. Like, he's really smart. Like, he gives me new things to talk about, or, you know, he expands my mind that no one else ever has. Now, mind you, I don't talk to stupid people either, but it was just his level of intellect of everything that, you know, that he does know, that he still, you know, is still teaching himself, that, you know, he makes sure he passes either it on to me or just keeps my brain going, that I really like, because it's something new.
And that was one of many, many reasons why I really liked her as well, where she was always interested in the things that, or at least she was interested in me enough to at least pretend to be interested in the things that I was interested in. I highly doubt she cares about some of the stuff I do as much as I do, but the fact that she at least gives me some of the effort and time was huge for me. It's considering some of my hobbies and interests are a bit unorthodox, I know.
Yeah, they're different. Like, he knows how to play the piano, the guitar. I mean, of course, he's still teaching himself, but these are all self-taught for the most part. The drums, he restores shoes that I didn't know that was a thing. Of course, he plays the games.
I do a lot of sports.
Yeah, he's very good with his words. You know, he writes. So I was just like, I don't even have a hobby. Like, I mean, I love animals. Like, I do stuff with dogs. That's really all I do. But, like, he actually has, like, different hobbies that I was just like, all right.
There's a lot of stuff that I kind of like to try and things like that. And the fact that she gave me so much energy and effort towards me, it was new for me from somebody that wasn't a parent or a family member. And I think it kind of drew me to her so much so that we ended up to develop a relationship, because she talked so much, she got me to speak more. And then she would compliment me on compliments keep coming, and well, now I guess I like you.
Well, yeah.
So that cultivated, and once we started to kind of mature as a couple, our relationship got more serious. We started to move in, get cats and things like that. She started to show me new sides of her that just further intrigued me. Like I said, I am a very I like to solve puzzles and things like that, and she's very much so one of those puzzles. So everything that she says, I listen to. Everything that she does, I try to observe.
He listens very well. Like, he's, like, repeated things to me that I forgot that I've said. And I'm like, I did say that. I'm like, you really do listen? Like, he's just so in tune with me, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, it just is ridiculous. Like, and then, like, I've gotten him to try, like, new foods, because this boy, as long as you give him some meat, depending upon the veggie and the side, for the most part, he's very easy to cook for, but it's hard to cook for him because I want to try different things, and he's just like, no.
Why you gotta lie?
I'm not done
It's
talking.
not hard to cook for me.
I didn't. Let me finish explaining what I got to say.
All right, go ahead. Go crazy.
I said it's difficult in the sense that when I want to do more with like certain foods or certain things, I know you're not going to eat it, but he's been open to trying more things because of the things that I've let him try before. He's liked it, so he's trusting me more with trying new foods. So
she can cook, it helps.
Yeah, so there's a piece of hair on my lip. I'm getting there.
But just the way that kind of she interacts with me, and she never kind of forced me out of my comfort zone. She kind of just allowed me to creep in and out of it, was one of, again, a multitude of reasons why I think I needed to put a ring on it. And there wasn't I don't think there was one specific moment that kind of did it, that sold it for me. Kind of just more of a cultivation of things where I just, once I sat down and kind of thought about it, it was like, I really think I could genuinely spend the rest of my life with this woman. Just the way that she has changed my perspective on everything. She did a really good job of selling herself.
I told him I was great from the beginning. Like I literally told him, I was like, I'm pretty great, you know. Be weird. I'm pretty. I love you. But yeah, guys, that is how we met.
A little bit of information on us,
Yeah.
Our story, kind of how we came to be. I know it's a little bit of a longer video, but I don't know if there was a way around it without breaking this up into several videos.
Yeah, but most of our stuff is going to be vlogs. Like, it's just going to be vlogging it up.
It's kind of how we want this channel to go. So
yeah,
you're in tune with that. Follow us. We like to do stuff. Come do some stuff with us.
We're going to put all our social medias and all that in the description. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Thanks, guys.